What's going on, guys? Fantasy Stock Exchange here, coming at you with a half PPR mock draft. 12 team we're doing this time. Sorry for that. 2 flexes, 6 bench. I mean, you guys can basically see the settings on the screen. Me and Corey are going to be attacking the 2 and 4 spots respectively. But before we do that, Corey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, Fantasy Pros Draft Wizards, the format that we're using here. Shout out Fantasy Pros and Bobby Sylvester.
Oh,
Rip.
man. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear about the Bobby news by now, just check mine and Corey's Twitter because you guys will see some of that stuff. But just if you're learning how to talk to a girl, don't do that because no, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's not get into Bobby's creepy predator tendencies and let's focus on this mock draft. But before we do that, let's hit the intro. Okay, so that didn't really make much of a difference because you guys can still see the timer counting down in the corner, but I will give you guys the draft board view before we do anything. And I'm expecting McCaffrey to go number 1 here. Pretty standard. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley. I know I have Zeke currently ranked higher in half PPR. I mean, they're a coin flip. I get Zeke in a lot of leagues. I get Zeke in a ton of mock drafts. So I'll spice it up. I'll get Saquon this time, and Corey's probably going to be looking at one of his favorite players here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. To me, it's a toss-up between him and Zeke. We've done an ADP battles on it, but obviously with the 4th pick, you don't have to make that decision because it usually goes pretty chalky with CMC, Saquon, and either Zeke or Kamara at 3. So with the 4th pick, you're pretty much just picking whoever's left of those like top 4 elite guys.
For sure. So after you went Kamara, we saw the big guys go off the board. Michael Thomas, Derrick Henry,
Leonard Fournette?
That is...
Jeez.
Oh, man. That team, Fournette and Kelsey, what the... Whatever. Dude, am I about to get Drake? You're about to get Eckler? Oh, man, no.
I mean, I never get Drake, so I'm going to pick Drake. Please. I never get Drake in mock drafts. We always pick Eckler in literally every mock draft we do, so.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take him again because this is
I don't blame you.
Dude, I am feeling nice. And you know what? I mean, we were kind of mentioning it off camera, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get Lamar Jackson on this team. I'm going to have Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, and Lamar Jackson, and let's go win some chips.
Yeah, Danny obviously didn't listen to the video we did that he was in where I talked about don't pick quarterbacks early.
Hey, I wanted to mix it up.
Yeah, we'll just shrug that off. Now I'm going to go with the best value on the board, a guy who has top 3 upside at the position, and that's Todd Gurley. Just kidding. I'm going to go with Allen Robinson.
That was my other consideration there. So, yeah, now we're receiving basically every receiver go off the board. You know what? Hey, if this quarterback early turns bad, then we could just point to you how we've told you not to do that all offseason. But
yeah, and I cannot believe that Melvin Gordon is on the board right now. So I am picking Melvin Gordon. We've talked about Melvin Gordon on numerous occasions. The fact that he is basically, when you look at a running back in fantasy, you look for the pass catching work, the goal line work, and the bulk of the carries. Melvin Gordon fits the bill on all those things.
Yeah, I mean that was going to be my pick if he fell. But you guys know, if you know me by now, who's going to be my pick. I basically am hovering right over it right now, and that's going to be Terry McLaurin. Wide receiver 1, I'm more than happy having him there. And let's roll. Let's see who's available. Le'Veon Bell goes. Any running backs I want to take here? A couple can make it back to me. Like my main consideration here would be DeAndre Swift. Let's see the receivers again. Lockett, Allen. A couple good options there. It's half PPR, so I'm actually going to lock up my running back because I feel like I can get another receiver later on. So I'm going to get DeAndre Swift. I mean, 502 on paper, maybe a lot early for some people, but I think he's more than fine at that value. I think, to be honest, that I'm probably higher than him than everybody in the industry. He's my RB17 in redraft. So my RB17 in redraft ahead of guys like Le'Veon, Chris Carson, all of them. Like I'm fine taking him there.
Yeah. Speaking of guys with crazy upside, there's the biggest freak of nature in all of football, and that's DK Metcalf, and he's going to be my wide receiver too.
Love that.
I posted a thread on Twitter talking about rookie receivers who got at least 750 yards on 100 targets or less, and DK Metcalf was fit that criteria. And basically, what I found was that those guys are in line for a huge volume uptick in their second year. And if DK Metcalf gets like 120, 130 targets from Russell Wilson this year, he's going to be a top 15 receiver, and you can put that in ink.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's easily a freak of nature. Getting him as your wide receiver too there, I definitely like that value. Interesting. Who are you looking at the 609? Nice.
I mean, Devin Singletary being on the board at this point is kind of interesting. I'm not going to lie, because I'm not like the biggest Devin Singletary guy, but at this point in the draft, he is kind of intriguing. I don't really like anyone on the board. Like, they're all kind of average to me, to everyone on the board. I'm going to go with Singletary just because I think it's good value. I'm not necessarily in on Singletary this year, if that makes any sense. Like, I think him and Zach Moss are eventually going to maybe shift to more of a 50-50 timeshare by the time the season's kind of said and done, because I think they're both solid running backs that kind of do everything well, but not like elite at anything.
For sure, for sure. Now, we saw Kyler go off the board right after that. And Corey, I'm going to let you know, in normal circumstances, I'm taking Rojo here. But to spice it up, you know what? I'll let you get your guy if he falls to the.
Well, I mean, you have 2 picks before me, so
yeah. Well, that's what I mean with both these picks. I'm thinking about going Marquise Brown and Michael Gallup.
I'm not going to pick Rojo because I have 4 running backs, so you can pick them if you want.
All right. I just took that in too. Yeah, I'm gonna go Marquise Brown, and then hopefully Michael Gallup makes it around. If not, I'll take Rojo. And Michael Gallup made it around. Perfect. Love my team.
Yeah.
Getting Michael Gallup in the 7th round, wide receiver 3, that's a steal.
Yeah, wide receiver is getting real ugly real quick. I think the last of the high upside, solid players that you could feel comfortable plugging into your lineup are the 2 Texans receivers and Marvin Jones. Yep. So I'm going to go with I'm actually going to go with Will Fuller here. I was more in on Fuller than Cooks earlier in the offseason. Now I've kind of gone back and forth. Apparently Brandon Cooks doesn't think his concussions are a big deal, so he's obviously been hitting the head one too many times. I think Will Fuller, and I've mentioned this before, to me, he just seems like the type of dude that would ball out in a contract year and get a huge contract and be a complete bust signing for the Jets or whoever team he goes to.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. And we saw what an incredible value for Team 7 getting a free agent running back in the 7th round.
Who is that?
Darius Guys.
Oh, geez. Yeah, on the clock right now. This is a guy I don't really have a lot of exposure to, but I do like his outlook. So I'm actually going to pick him here, and that's Christian Kirk.
I like that pick.
He's not going to be – I don't think you're going to be able to start Christian Kirk week in and week out, though. I think he's going to be kind of a guy that you want to start when Hopkins has a bad matchup. But I do think he's going to be locked and loaded if that offense takes a step forward to be like a wide receiver 2-3 flex play if Kyler Murray is able to take that step forward next year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I have Christian Kirk as a top 35 receiver, so I think that's incredible value there, getting him in the 8th round. I'm actually looking at my number 6 tight end overall being available right now. I'm going to go with Hayden Hurst. I really like the value on him there. Again, as I mentioned, they're saying it's a reach, but I mean, fantasy pros, do you really trust their opinion? I mean, look what happened with Bob. Getting into the 2nd pick here, couple running backs are just kind of in a similar tier for me here, in my opinion. So I'll probably look at a receiver. Same thing here. Wow. Okay. These guys.
Jordan Howard is interesting at this point in the draft, in my opinion. In the 9th round, if you're earlier in the offseason, me and you were on Sony Michel basically for pure volume reasons. And I think Jordan Howard is basically the same thing, except I think he's actually better at football than Sony Michel, at least what Sony Michel has proven thus far in the NFL. So I would go Jordan Howard if you're looking for a running back personally.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Howard was at the top of the list here, so I'm probably going to go with him. It's just, I don't know. I mean, again,
but he's kind of boring. I understand, but man, Matt Breida never is able to stay healthy. So if it happens to Matt Breida, Jordan Howard's going to be like a full-fledged bell cow running back. I think people sleep on Jordan Howard a lot. I know he's not he can't catch the ball, so he's not exciting, but
9th round,
I think he's still in line for a 220+ carry workload next year.
He could definitely provide a similar role to what he did in Philadelphia last year. I mean, I would not be surprised.
And he was a guy you could put in your flex spot last year, and he's kind of a hope for a touchdown running back as it is. But again, you got a good matchup. Throw Jordan Howard in your flex spot.
And I'll be completely honest, considering I went with Lamar there over like some of those receivers, which I probably would just take one of the receivers. I really like how this team's turning out. Again, we're gonna check it after, like when we're looking at the grades and stuff. But man, like I have the number 2 pick in my home league. If I ended up with a team like this, I would be stoked.
Like, I went with Anthony Miller there on the board. I'm kind of just stacking receivers because I really didn't know where to go there. I didn't see any glaring value on the board.
Yeah, that would have been my pick had Jordan Howard not been on the board. So
I do see some glaring value on the board right now, though, and I'm going to go with my number 8 ranked quarterback and someone who I believe has 35 plus touchdowns, very much his future this year.
The GOAT. I like that pick. That's solid there. Obviously, I have a quarterback. I just kind of want to see what the board is saying there. Okay, so teams are going to start taking quarterbacks now. Don't mind Preston Will, Jalen Reagor. You know what? At this point, I actually do like Henry Ruggs. So I'm going to take him here. I mean, on paper, I mean, you probably would rather have him as your wide receiver 5. But I mean, as my wide receiver 4 with a team with a ton of running back depth, one quarterback early, tight end early. So
oh man, I wanted Damien Harris with the next pick. Shit.
Good value there for that team as well. Let's just see the running backs. You know what? I've been increasingly higher on Boston Scott as the offseason has gone by. Because I mean, as much as I love my Miles Sanders, I mean, why shouldn't I be high on Boston Scott? Because realistically, like I don't expect Miles Sanders to get a full like bell cow type workload, which I don't think he needs to be a top 10 running back for the record. And
I don't think he does either. I think he can be Aaron Jones
exactly
this year.
I fully agree. And Boston Scott showed last year he can contribute in the passing game. He did get goal line carries at the end of the year too. So ultimately here, if anything were to happen to Sanders or even not, I think he has standalone value. Getting him here in the 11th round is good value on a guy like that. So
thank
I like
God you didn't take Chase Edmonds.
I considered him too.
Oh, thank God I got him because I have Kenyon Drake, and I think there's like 2 running backs that you absolutely need to handcuff in fantasy this year. It's Dalvin Cook and Kenyon Drake, in my opinion. If you have Dalvin Cook, you need Alex Madison. If you have Kenyon Drake, you need Chase Edmonds because they're the 2 riskiest running backs in the early rounds, in my opinion. Maybe Miles Sanders as well, but I don't think anyone directly benefits if Miles Sanders goes down. I think it's more of a committee approach as we've seen from Doug Peterson. I see Jonnu Smith on the board right now, and that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, punting the position and getting
like
Jonnu.
The fact that he's going like in the same neighborhood as Dallas Goedert and Noah Fant is disrespectful to me. I fully agree. TJ Hawkinson going ahead of him is gross.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And on the clock now, I'm actually going to go with our boy Rashad Perriman. Lock him up. Number one receiver on the Jets. Not a great title, but it's still a number one.
Antonio Gibson. I forgot about him. I would have picked him had I known he was on the board. Shit.
Yeah, I know. If I knew he was on the board, he definitely would have.
Or I guess he went one pick before I did.
Well, I mean, I would have picked him over Boston Scott. So like,
I would have picked him over Chase Edmonds 100%. I would have picked him over probably when I picked Christian Kirk or Anthony Miller. Like I think by the time drafts roll around, I think Antonio Gibson's going to be a 7th, 8th round pick.
Oh, I agree. And
he should be going where Darius Geis was. Like I know Darius Geis was more like secured in the role that he had, but I mean the new coaching staff in Washington is the one that drafted Antonio Gibson. They did not draft Darius Geis, and obviously Darius Geis is cut now, and they might have favored Antonio Gibson at some point during the season anyway. So now that the backfield is less crowded, it's just really Antonio Gibson and Adrian Peterson. So yeah. He's taking Adrian Peterson.
I was going to take AP. He's not here. Whatever. Okay. Sean McCoy. I was going to take Adrian Peterson there. So, whatever. Why
I'm going to take him if he's on the board.
I searched up Peterson. He's not like showing up. Is he not on the board? Like, where would he have gone?
I have no idea. But Adrian Peterson – the situation in Washington kind of reminds me of what it was in New Orleans in Alvin Kamara's rookie year, because Alvin Kamara had about the career touches that Antonio Gibson, not the career touches, sorry, the touches in his final year that Antonio Gibson did. So it is kind of similar. And it was actually like Alvin Kamara actually beat out Adrian Peterson that year too. Like that was the running back that was in front of him. I'm gonna go with Anthony McFarland Jr. on the board right now
Is
because
AP
I
not
think
available?
I don't really like. I have no idea why he's not like I can't pick him. But is he like was he picked already? Maybe that's why.
I don't think so. I don't see him.
Okay, well
No.
Adrian Peterson has disappeared into oblivion. So
Fantasy pros. I know you got other shit going on, but once you're done with dealing with that, deal with this.
yeah, where the hell is Adrian Peterson? I'm so confused.
Man, that would have been such a steal,
Did he
too.
go in like the 5th round and we just didn't notice?
Did he?
I don't know. Like that's what I feel like happened because like we have no idea where he is.
Oh my god.
No, I literally. Oh yeah, there he is.
Where?
10th round. He went the 10th.
Oh.
2 picks before I picked Tom Brady.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even notice.
I'm on the clock right now. Okay. Yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
Whatever.
I'm gonna pick probably another receiver just because I like the value on the board right now. I'm gonna go with N'Keal Harry because he has a chance to become the number 1 outside receiver in the Patriots offense.
Yeah, I like that value. And if you guys know me by now, I'm going to lock up my boy, the Blake out. And Blake Jarwin.
Gross.
And I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, okay, there. All right, dope.
93.
Yeah, damn. Okay, then again, Bobby helped make the algorithm, so.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Anyways, we'll quickly go over the rosters. Kind of lagging a little bit right now, but we'll quickly go over the rosters. So on my team, I have Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin, Marquise Brown, Hayden Hurst, DeAndre Swift, and Michael Gallup in the flex. Then on my bench, I have Jordan Howard, Henry Ruggs, Blake Jarwin, Boston Scott, Rashad Perriman, and LaShawn McCoy that got auto-picked for me.
Yeah, and on my team, I got the GOAT at quarterback. I have 2 pretty studly running backs if Kenyon Drake works out, and Alvin Kamara and Kenyon Drake. Allen Robinson and DK Metcalf are my top 2 receivers. Jonnu Smith is my tight end. At flex, I got Melvin Gordon and Devin Singletary. I think I got 2 top 20 running backs in my flex. If we actually maybe not top 20 for Singletary, but top 25 for sure. Yeah. Will Fuller, Christian Kirk, Anthony Miller, Chase Edmonds, N'Keal Harry, and Anthony McFarland Jr. are my bench. Got a lot of receivers on this team.
Heck yeah. Well, definitely like, you know what? Like, I did not think I'd be getting Austin Eckler at the late second, and I didn't think you'd be getting Kenyon Drake at the late second. So, I mean,
I like your team quite a lot, even though you went quarterback early.
Yeah, like that's what I was just about to say. Like the fact that I was able to lock down those 2 running backs, like I'm more fine taking a guy like Lamar at that point because like you already have 2 running backs. You can stock up receivers later in the draft, feel confident. But man, if I didn't get Austin Eckler, like this team would look way different, because realistically here, that RB
probably would have went with like Chris Godwin or something, right? In the second round.
Exactly. Yeah, Chris Godwin, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, one of those guys. They might have been honestly gone too, to be honest. Yeah, I probably would have went with George Kittle or Chris Godwin was even.
Yeah, running back wise, you had no options aside from Austin Eckler.
Yeah, like if Eckler goes realistically, because I noticed Aaron Jones is usually the end of that tier.
Yeah, he went early.
Once like that end of that tier goes, and you're looking at like the Gurleys, the Condors, the Ingrams, do not touch that.
I can't not pick Chris Godwin or like. Well, I guess Chris Godwin was gone too. I would pick Mike Evans or Allen Robinson over those guys, but yeah, you would have been if Eckler was gone, you would have been in a really shitty situation because Godwin was also gone, so you probably would have had to pick George Kittle.
Yeah, and like you start Saquon, Kittle, Lamar. I mean, like realistically, like yes, you have a guy who can finish number 1 at each of those positions, but that just puts you so far behind the 8 ball. And developing or your receiving core, getting an RB2 and stuff that ultimately here, like, yes, it's nice looking like that on the fucking team. You go to your roster, oh, damn, I got 3 guys who can finish number 1 every single week. But, man, in fantasy, like, if you don't have a 2 at their position that's even capable, I mean, you're not going to succeed. So,
yeah, you need a complete team. As much as we 100%. Think that these guys can carry us, and they probably could. If you get the same type of season out of Lamar that he put up last year, then yes, he would probably carry you enough. Same goes for Kittle and McCaffrey. If you get McCaffrey, like if you get like that kind of season again, they're probably capable of carrying your roster, but you can't count on that. Like we see guys bust that are in the top 3 picks every year, and we see quarterbacks that are the the first quarterback off the board every year bust. Like it just happens. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit the like button, comment on the video, anything fantasy related. We don't even care. If you just want to rip on us for whatever reason, just go ahead. It helps us SEO wise. So also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the notification bell because we post videos pretty much every day. Make sure you check out the description. In the description, you will see that we have a draft guide. It will be discounted starting on Monday, so it'll only be $3. It's like cheapest fucking draft guide you'll ever see.
It's less than a fucking breakfast wrap. Like, what are you guys thinking if you don't get it? Like,
make sure you join the Discord with the season approaching. There's a lot of guys in there that can give you dynasty advice, redraft advice, whatever you're looking for. And if you're looking to do mock drafts, play some best ball, go over to Drafters. Use promo code FSE when you sign up to get a 50% match back.
100%, boys. And heck, Bush had comment on the video. Even if you want to just comment about how dumb Bobby is, if you heard about that, go ahead, because we'll definitely be ripping on that tool. But anyways,
we've been ripping on him for months before that happened. We thought he should have been fired based on merit. So
the worst thing about the situation, he's gonna be fired based on his comments when he should have been fired long ago for his fucking advice.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get out of this video. We'll see you guys next time.